was that?
I despised him.
Why?
There was this man, we were in Portofino, and I was boarding a boat with young people. First picture with young people. I mean, we had Gina Lillibrigid or Rock Hudson, but I had some young people. And I looked up at a dock, and I heard someone whistle, you know. And he's in a canary yellow suit. And he looks down, and he says, "Hi, I'm Bobby Darin. I'm going to marry you." And I mean, I looked at this man. I was 15 and a half. I thought,
was he a big star for people who weren't around? He was a big
Oh, he was Mac the Knife. In fact, at the studio, I didn't even know he was doing the picture. But the only way I'd let them cut my hair is if they put Mac the Knife on, and then I would get involved in the music, and I wouldn't watch what they were cutting. Like, these bangs should not be this short, you know. Loving the record. Didn't know he was going to be in the film until, you know, obviously before we shot. But I certainly didn't expect this. And he was abrasive and cocky and insulting. And he said, my mother said, "Why do you do this to her?" He said, "Because she doesn't give me any attention any other way." In other words, if he was nice, I mean, I would just say, yes, fine. But when he did something, you know, horrendous and insulting to me, I fought back. And he said that any reaction is better than none. That was his philosophy.
How did Mother feel when you decided to marry Bobby Darin? Was she...
Whoa.
There goes the meal ticket, huh?
She thought, I mean, you know, first of all, she adored him and his brother-in-law and my hairdresser, and they would go out in foursomes while I went with the kids. And she kept saying, "Sandy, you must be nice to him, he's charming." And I said, "I don't have," she said, "You have to work with him. So you must, he wants to take you to dinner, go." I didn't want to go. Go to this dinner, and my mother was so strict that when 9 o'clock passed, she realized I was having fun, that I wasn't home by 8:30 at night. And from then on, she never pushed, and it only took 3 weeks.
Now, here's a girl who hasn't kissed this guy.
No.
You get married. What is honeymoon night like for...
I didn't marry like a virgin, okay? Like, I mean, like I was, obviously. And I must say, he was about as patient. I sat in an otter coat and a purple velvet dress, which is what I got married in, because we didn't start out to get married. I was going to a birthday party. So I swear you, his sister's birthday party. So there I am sitting in this otter thing, and I'm sitting on a couch. Now, we weren't getting married until February, but see, he rented a house. Very smart man. He rented a house, and when my mother found out, I took a blood test. And now he told me it was to prove I loved him, because we were going to be married. I believed all this. We were going to be married. No, this was in Camden, New Jersey. But we were going to be married in California. So I said, "Why do we have to have a blood test? I'm afraid of needles." "To prove you love me." So I'm at someone's house. I stick my arm out. The doctor's on the other side of the door. I take the blood test. Well, my mother finds the bandage, and all hell breaks loose. So she leaves the apartment and leaves me there. With my dog, she left. And now I'm alone. I mean, I'm in New York. My family doesn't talk to me. I mean, you want to know how my mother reacted? My family won't speak to me. She's gone. They will not tell me where she is. Bobby's going to take me to dinner, and I said, "Well, at least come upstairs and wait for me. I'm alone for the first time in my life." And he says, "No, I can't do that. Your mother would then really have something, you know." I said, "Bobby, I'm alone." It got to the point where I begged him to marry me. I mean, you forget waiting, forget anything, because my mother would not come to the wedding. She was that mad, and we eloped that night.
And what was the night like?
But I don't know. A lot of you must have heard of Don Kirshner. He's in the music business, and Bobby and he wrote some songs, whatever. And they were both, well, Donnie was struggling. Bobby had made it. So Donnie lived in a one-room apartment in Camden, New Jersey. And Bobby calls, because we now decide, Ross Hunter is on his way out. All, you know, Universal people will be there. The one person missing is my mother, who has been a part of my whole life, you know. And I called, and the studio said, "Do me one favor. If you decide to do something rash, at least call us." I did it. I said, "Look, this is impossible. My mom's not going to be here. Tell Ross not to come out. We're just going to elope." it's going to be
So you
strong.
did. You
We did. But you see, we went for the license 2 days before, and we didn't think anything more about it, but Bobby called Donnie in Camden and said, get a judge. No sweat. Now, we very inconspicuously, because I wore this sport jacket over purple velvet, and Bobby was in, I don't know, some kind of, you know, nothing dressed. We didn't want to look obvious, because press were downstairs. You know, they were always down there. And we get into this inconspicuous, this is hysterical, red Rolls Royce. It was fireman red. Now, we didn't know this. You know, we rented a car. And there we go in a red Rolls Royce with the press behind us.
And no one knows.
No one knows.
Married.
But we go to Camden, New Jersey. Now we get there and everything's set. The judge is there, his wife is there, everyone's set. And Donnie says, okay, Bob, the license. And Bob says, I thought you're getting the license. What are you talking about? Because we filled it out in Camden. And we needed another day. It took us 8 hours to travel to a judge in another district, to open up City Hall.
See, I had this image of Bobby Darin, you know, marrying somebody like that. It would go so smoothly and all of that.
I got married in no shoes. I'm not sure my dress was buttoned at this point, because I had slept half the night waiting.
And for the wedding night, you spent 12 hours sitting on the edge of a couch?
When I arrived here. Oh, yes. And after that, we had hard bagels for breakfast. This was our breakfast. And then we got on, not a jet. And bear in mind, I'm in this otter coat, sweating to death, but I will not take it off. Purple is underneath. This is my marriage dress. You know, I'm on the front page of the Times and all. This is my marriage dress. I said, no way. So I'm sitting in this coat, and I sat in that coat until dawn the next morning.
So much for a wedding night.
But actually, for me, it was very good, because I was scared to death. I was scared to death.
Take a break. We'll be right back. Sandra did.
Oh, no, it was really sweet.
Hey, Joanne. This is a kid I was telling you about. She's only been surfing a little over a month.
Really? It must be wonderful if you like that sort of thing. Of course, Moondoggy can tell you I'm not the outdoor type. Then you better get out of the sun before you melt.
Actress Sandra Dee and singer Bobby Darin. Each of them is an idol of teenagers across the nation. They first announced their engagement after completing production in Rome as co-stars with Rock Hudson and Gina Lollobrigida of UI's new film, Come September.
Bobby Darin and Sandra Dee were married for about 7 years, and they had, is that correct?
4.
4 years, that's all? Oh, my
We
God.
lived together
Oh.
after the divorce, so
So,
it worked out better, trust me.
and
Excuse me, I have never seen that footage.
isn't that funny?
It really is. Of course, I was in a daze getting off the plane, but
There you
no,
were.
that's wonderful.
And one child, Dodd,
Dodd,
who is the light of your life.
yes,
And
who wanted to be here.
all right. When was it a bad marriage?
No, it really wasn't a bad marriage. The downfall started with me and the pills. After I had the baby, I called my doctor and I said, you know, see, I got a nurse before the baby because I'd never seen a newborn baby, but I decided on the way home I didn't want her to tell me like his schedule, you know. I said, Bobby, send her away because I want to be able to say this is his bath time, this is where his diapers are, you know. She shouldn't tell me. So what I did was I started day and night, you know, all by myself, taking care of the baby. Well, then we went to Vegas and we were starting a picture and I had to start to fit clothes, take care of the baby during the night, go with Bobby to the shows at night. Make a long story short,
Speed.
I was tired. So I started the picture, and that means 12 to 14-hour days. And beyond 1 o'clock, I was really out of it. I mean, I was really tired.
So there was speed?
No, not yet. I called my doctor, and I did not say speed. I didn't know what it was. I said, I need something to get through after 1 o'clock. I said, I'm just drained. So he said, all right, I'll send you something. Take 1 in the morning, and you'll feel better. I felt wonderful. I mean, I could have had another kid. I could have fed it all night. gung-ho.
Do you think that your addiction was the problem with the marriage?
Oh, that started it. And I am a very addictive person, period.
How did his death affect you? How did Bobby Darin's death affect you?
Well, so far in my life, and this is honestly true, it's the only man I've ever cared about. So it affected me pretty deeply. And I, of course, with my son,
There's never been... What year did he die?
Oh, help me.
1973. Do you go out at all? Do you date?
I haven't.
I want you to take a look at a picture. You have to trust me. It's from the television series T.J. Hooker, starring William Shatner and Heather Locklear and James Darren, who played Jim Corrigan. Sandra, tell everyone you know about James Darren. What was it like when you worked with him?
God, he hated me around.
He hated you?
So many of them did, because I was a kid. Now, he was a married man. And publicity is always trying, you know, like, not to match up, but to get pictures being cute. And he'd say, you know, like, get away from me. You know, I mean, no one wanted to be seen with the kid. You know, this is a married man with a son, and they want him to do publicity pictures with me, you know, 14 years old. So it was like...
Offset, was he nice, though?
Oh, he was charming. It's just he wanted nothing to do with publicity.
Yeah,
You know,
I don't know him well, but I've kind of found him charming. Ladies and gentlemen, the man who always stole Sandra Dee's heart, Moondoggy himself, James Darren.
There's no such thing as the next best thing to love. So substitute all facsimile thereof. Just try and do without it. Go see how far you get. Why don't we face it? What can replace it? Nothing they thought of yet. There's no such thing as very sweet appeal. And nothing like
James, when was the last time you two saw each other?
About 25 years ago.
You haven't seen each other in 25 years?
No, isn't it since really the picture, unless we've seen each other in a crowd. And
I apologize for this trick. She didn't know you were here, and she thinks to herself, why is this woman moving me along like that?
And look at the clip.
I could see the look in your face, but I knew what I knew. Tell me about this lady.
How wrong you were. You know, first of all, I had been married, but I was divorced, and I did have a child. But I was crazy about Sandy.
But I was always the little, you know, nonsensical thing.
No,
not to me you were.
Take the compliment.
Now he tells me.
Not to me. I thought you were adorable and lovable, and I mean, I just, when I read in People magazine you had a crush on me, I said, now she tells me?
I did.
I mean, 25 years later.
I did.
I used to go home at night, I'd say, gee, I wonder why she doesn't talk to me. I wonder why, if I try to say something to her, because you seemed awfully shy.
I was shy.
Yeah, I was shy, too. So it usually never works out when two shy people try to get together, I guess.
No, I was tongue-tied, you know.
I want James to set up a scene, if that's possible, a scene in Gidget that was very special for you. I guess you're just going to have to tell us what's going on here.
Well, it was just about the end of the film, and Sandra and I were getting together for the last time. We're on the beach, and I asked her if she'd wear my college pin, and this is the scene when I pinned her.
And I haven't seen this. I'm going to watch.
Oh, gee, would you, sort of wear this till I come back?
Oh, boy, would I. Oh, just wait. Wait till the girls get a load of this. Honest to goodness, it's the absolute ultimate.